It's the Gear Tester here, and I want to take this opportunity to discuss micro kits with you, my viewers and subscribers. The first thing you're probably wondering is, what in the world is a micro kit? Well, for me, a micro kit, and that's my own delineation, is a small package of gear that I want to have together. A closed system. I want to know when I pick this little red pouch up that I know what's in it. Or this pouch right here, that I know what's in it and it represents something to me, something useful to me. And I call them micro kits because they're small. If you're like me, you have a lot of gear and equipment. There's a reason why my YouTube name is TheGeartester. Not just because I can destroy things, but because I have a lot of gear and equipment, and it's hard sometimes for me to stay organized. And so I find that micro kits, sub-kits inside like a backpack, whether that's for backpacking or whether that's a backpack for work or a bag for work, or whether that's like a range bag for shooting or other situations, it's nice to have smaller packages that I have some idea of what's in this, that have a specific intended purpose, a specific IP. So I just wanted to go over some micro kits that I've been using and that I continue to develop, and I'll show you guys these now, and these in time, in the future, will have different gear and equipment in them. A good micro kit is going to be based around some kind of packaging, okay, some kind of bag or pouch that allows you to keep all these items together. That could be as simple as a Ziploc bag. That could be as complicated as something like this mil-spec Monkey Tactical Tailor admin pouch that I have right here. It can be something kind of in between this. This is a 511 a pocket off one of their cargo pants. I wore the knees out after years and years of wear, and so I just cut the pockets out before I threw them away, and am using the pockets here, you can see there, as a first aid kit. So let's just go over a couple of these micro kits and I'll show you what's in them and how I use them. Again, the main purpose here is to stay organized, so I know that if I grab this, this, and this, I have some idea mentally what's in it and that my needs are going to be met without having to go through every item in them and make sure that I have it. This here is just a little zippered pocket, and this is kind of an EDC medical kit for me. And just kind of like boo-boos, and it has a little bit of other gear and equipment. I have some cough drops in it. This winter's been pretty dry, and it's been nice to, if I start to cough a little bit, to have a cough drop. That doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen once in a while. Here's a Bic lighter. You guys are going to see that I have Bic lighters in many of these micro kits. So I got a Bic lighter here in my little medical thing. I've got one of these mini ibuprofen bottles. Okay, just has some ibuprofen there if I get a headache. Again, I don't use this a lot, but when you have a splitting headache, it's nice to be able to have instant relief, or start that relief process. Here I've got a little locking. This is a Gerber knife. I usually have my Benchmade Griptilian, or I almost always have a Benchmade Griptilian on me, but it's nice to have a secondary blade that I know I can use. Again, it kind of goes back to possible medical use. If I need to do that, I keep this clean and sanitary, so if I needed to dig a splinter out or something like that with it, just gives me a backup blade, and I like the fact that it locks. Then you can see here I've got a couple little germ-killing antibiotic wipes. I actually have some Band-Aids here, and oddly enough, I have a little temperature, like single-use thermometer in there, because this was actually a little medical kit. It was previously given. I think it's one of those like advertising things from like a hospital or something like that. But that's how I've set this little micro kit up for my use. The ibuprofen, some Band-Aids, the lighter, the pocket knife, and some cough drops. That's kind of comfort gear, but it's nice to have that. I keep that readily available, so when I'm away from the house, I've got some just minor medical supplies and equipment. This here is an Otis, like universal gun cleaning kit, and this is basically, I've got a review, I've got parts 1 and 2 up on this excellent little kit, and you can see here I've got basically everything from 12 gauge shotgun to 223, 22 long rifle. I've got additional cleaning pads. The one thing that I added to this kit, that as it came from the store, is this Squirt P2. That just gives me a little pair of pliers and the ability to work on and tighten down different pieces of gear if I don't have other equipment with me. So I can grab this and I can basically clean anything. One of the things that Otis has done to this cleaning kit is they have updated it. I'm not seeing them having this foam anymore. They're having like a hard plastic insert that goes right in here where the pieces actually snap into. I like that much better. These tend to fall out. So what I've done is I've actually pre-attached them. So it means sometimes I have to remove them, but that means I don't lose them when I open the kit up. So that's my little Otis universal cleaning kit. Again, I've got a review. It's called Otis Tactical or Universal Cleaning Kit Millimeters from Perfection. Got a 2-part review up on this little kit. But there again, you know, I know this is a known entity. When I pick this up, I can clean any of my firearms with it. It's got the pull cords, so you pull through rather than push. Got a little medical kit. So those are 2 systems I've got there. Let's go. This one's interesting. This little mil-spec monkey admin pouch. I use this I switch out what I keep in it. I've just got a military strap that goes over my shoulder, so I basically have turned this into a little messenger's bag. Run some attachments here because it's meant to go onto a MOLLE system. It's not really meant to be used the way I'm using it, but it does a great job. I've used this a lot for carrying ammunition things while I hunt, as kind of a modern possibles bag. If you've seen that, kind of like a black powder bag that many people used when they had black powder rifles. They would keep fire starting equipment, extra ammunition, those kinds of things in a bag like this. It's got a main pocket here, got Velcro there on the front. You can see it's got some loops and some pockets here. I got a little bit of string and a couple small zip ties in there that I just keep there. Here I've got a 15-round Glock 19 magazine. You can see this easily takes a flashlight. We have a secondary little pocket there. And I bet you're wondering what's in the main pocket. Well, today I've got a Glock 19 in this main pocket. Okay, and it is safety checked previously, but just for the very worried and safety conscious, you can see there. So it fits a full-size Glock 19, right? It's a compact size pistol in many people's minds. But one thing I find about using the pistol in this case, even though it's camouflage, most people don't assume that a handgun can fit in that case. So going for a walk in a situation where, of course, you have your concealed carry permit and it's legal and so on, this is actually a pretty nice kit. You can have 3 15 or 17 round magazines running right there, so you have plenty of ammo for whatever you might encounter. And I'll show you here just the mil-spec monkey Tactical Tailor logo in there. Okay, so this is a great pouch. I switch out what I have in it, but this could be the base or the platform for any number of micro kits. You can see there that could be a micro home defense kit. Something goes bump in the dark, you grab that, put that on. I would just be very careful. I can just say this about the safety in the gun. I would not have a loaded round. I would not have this gun with a round in the chamber in the bag. I would keep it so you have to pull it out and load it before you'd use it. That would be just my personal preference. I think it would be stupid to have it loaded in there. I think you're just asking for a misfire right down into your leg or your chest or some other soft portion of your body that you don't want a hole shot through. Great platform for a micro kit, for hunting, for self-defense, and even for survival. I think this would make a great kit for having fire starting, a small fixed blade knife, a Leatherman, some paracord would go very nicely in that mil-spec monkey admin pouch. Now here, for those of us who are afflicted with eye problems, you can see this is just a little dry bag that I purchased from Walmart. Coming like a set of 3. This is the smallest, I think. You can see it says eye stuff on it. And because I wear glasses and use contacts now, I have, boom, the moisturizing stuff that I would need to keep my contacts moist. I have 1 set of contacts that are being used. I have some eye drops for my eye, and then I have 2 packages of new contact lenses. You can see I've numbered them right and left, so I understand where they need to go. So that's a little micro kit that I've started carrying. I can grab that if I'm going on a backpack trip. I already know that it's set up. If for some reason those contacts that are already in the little container have gone bad, I have 2 individual sets. I've taken this when I've traveled overseas to South America. It was very nice to just have additionals backup. I carried this with me all the time so that if I lost my glasses, I had 2 sets of glasses or broke them, I would have some way of being able to see. Again, it's a known entity. I know it's in there. I've checked it, and now I can put this away somewhere and grab it when I need it, and I know what's going to be in it, helping me stay organized. Here's another kind of a higher level of first aid than that one that I showed you. Again, we got ibuprofen, got some bigger Band-Aids, we've got a wipe there, antiseptic hand sanitizing wipe. So there's some bigger bandages as well as then some wet ones. So I've got a little bit bigger medical kit there. I'm working on a couple of these kits so I can have them in vehicles or in camping equipment or just in emergency gear, easily accessible. But I'm using those 511 pouches that I cut out of the pants. So you got that. You got my eyes, the Otis kit. This is one that I wanted to share with you guys. This is my survival and medical equipment. And I may have referred to my 10 essentials in previous videos. I don't know if I've done that. But when I talk about 10 essentials, I'm usually talking about something like this bag. Usually this bag specifically, if you've heard me in other videos talk about my 10 essentials. What I mean by 10 essentials is it's not really 10 items. Sometimes it's more than 10 items, sometimes it's fewer than 10 items, depending on how you want to count them. But 10 essentials, basically basic things I'd need for survival and wilderness, in a wilderness situation. Or in a suburban situation where I need to survive. So that's basically made up of these 3 containers, sub-containers, right? I've got an excellent ACE bandage. I've got some medical equipment. I've got some Vaseline. I have some batteries. I have some gauze. We'll just get this stuff out for you. So I've got some gauze pads. I got some ibuprofen. I've got some stuff for my lips there. What's it called? Can't even, chapstick. I've got this little container of Vaseline. I've got some athletic tape. I've got some Q-tips, some antibiotic ointment, some string, okay, and Q-tips and a candle there. And then this container has CR123 batteries for my Surefire flashlights, just as a little backup. So if I just grab this in, I've got basic light and basic medical and comfort items if something bad happens. And then in this little kit, it's actually a sewing kit. And I know I've showed this previously in a video, and I just want to give you guys a better look at it. In this kit, I've got some safety pins, a bigger safety pin. I've got some thread to do sewing. And I have the needles that I would need to do that, some sewing needles. And here I have a Bic lighter, and it's got a couple little Ranger bands on it. Told you you'd see more Bic lighters. And then on this side, I have a sharpening steel, a sharpening stone. Steel, what am I saying? A sharpening stone. So I've got the ability to sharpen tools that I have with me. I've got the ability to start fire, and I've got the ability to maintain gear and equipment if it's broken. For instance, if a strap were to come off a backpack, that could be a pretty big issue if you don't have some way of sewing it back on. If your clothes get a tear in them, it might be nice to be able to do that, maintain them before you come out of the wilderness with a giant rip in your pants, something like that. I don't think that this was a commercially produced sewing kit. I think this was something that somebody made. I got it at a garage sale many, many years ago. I think I was about 12 years old when I purchased this. I was always looking for stuff that looked like it was a military surplus, and this looked like it was military surplus, so I bought it, and I've used it and carried it with me for many, many years now. So you can see those are a couple micro kits which I use, which bring me comfort, which allow me to stay organized and create a known entity for me. So I know when I grab this kit, and I don't usually actually go through and check it. You should probably do that, but I usually just maintain them so I know what's in them. So I will sometimes go through them and check them right before I go on a backpacking trip or something. This is one of the things that go with me and modify it. I've got the Otis cleaning kit, my eye stuff, first aid. You could even incorporate some of these items into a system like this using this pot. This is the MSR stowaway pot, and you could fit a lot of these different things into it. I got a review on this pot up on my channel if you want to look for that, the MSR stowaway pot, but you could still fit some of these items in a survival situation. You could fit most of these items and one of these other medical kits probably into that pot, and again have a contained unit that would use less space. Hope this video has been beneficial to you. I hope it's got you thinking about micro kits and how you might organize your gear and equipment more effectively. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. My goal is to produce quality video reviews of shooting, camping, and survival gear. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow, keeps me motivated, lets me know if you like the videos that I'm producing. If there's something I could do better, if there's something you'd like me to review, leave me a comment down below. Let me know different ways that you keep your gear organized. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. This is the Gear Tester signing off.